Boy, it's been wet this last few months. You know, very, very wet springtime. And I wanted to get out a little bit sooner today. Run some errands and went upstate for a little bit. I think I got a beaver out there going to come over and bother us. And was hoping to go up there and run some chainsaws. I have a cart full of my vintage saws, 70s era. That's also from the 70s. Believe it or not, that one there is as well. So you got three here from the 1970s. And then, of course, the later model 262, and then my 565 bought back in, I guess it was 2019. But it's a little bit late for me to go suit up and go out and get work done. So I give, right? Go train some fish. And these fishing rods here are ones I had picked up last year when I was going back and forth upstate at flea markets, secondhand stores, and the like. This one here and this one here I'd picked up at a place up in Massena, New York. And that's a Mitchell 300. They've made those for a while. It kind of sits on this Daiwa rod. I believe it's just a fiberglass rod. No, it's graphite. Of course, usually when fishing in my pond, it's not about the fishing rod. As long as you can get it out, they'll bite it. It's about the bait. Of course, that's pretty much anything to do with fishing. It's not so much about the rod as it is the bait. This one here I got from the same store up in Massena. I had done that little video. It's got a nice little reel right there. And this one here I got from Bachville. Big flea market out there. And I mean, Shimano's been making good reels for a very, very long time. And this is kind of like their lower end reel. But it works pretty good. And again, it's not going to be so much about the rod and reel as it is going to be about the bait. This is a graphite rod. We'll see if we can toss that Rapala out there. And I bought this rod here because I was looking for something technology-wise that was about period with this pen reel right here. You know, late 70s era. So here's a fiberglass Daiwa. They make good stuff. They've made good fishing gear for a very, 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 very long time. I've been a Daiwa fan forever. So we're just going to use each of these three rods the way I have them set up from last year and see whether or not the fish have learned a darn thing over the last few years. I think I'll start out with this one right here because I want to catch something. And I've had super luck with this. And as you can tell, I cut off one leg of the triple hook and I bend the barbs in so I can get it out of the fish's face. Now, the trick is, if you've done that to your lures, I've done that to pretty much all of them, is you just got to keep the pressure on. So when they hit, you got to just start reeling. Because the very second that you release the pressure on that thing, it's going to toss right out of its face. Same with that one. Which is why, by the way, my lose reels are my favorites, because they have a little bit faster retrieval rate. So it's easier for me to keep the pressure on that hook. Whereas if I have the older reels like this one right here, where the retrieval rate isn't as fast, you know, it's a little harder to keep that lure in contact with the fish. So anyway, let's just see what happens. See if I catch anything today. We'll try a little bit from here if I can get there without falling in. And then after that, we'll go to the other side if we don't catch anything. Nice little fish. That's one. Okay, just chill. That's why I do this with a hook, to make it a little easier to get enough fish. No, stop. I just moved down the pond a little bit. Take the same 2 fishing rods and see if I can't do a little better on this side without intervention from Mrs. Beaver. Oh, this is going to be fun. A little one. Big fish. All these little tiny fish are going for it, even with the beaver out there. They don't care. A big fish. Get him off. No, he didn't take it out of his head. Little big fish. My hope is by the time I've done this a few times, they're educated. So these 2 fishing rods, they still seem to work, you know. Of course, why would they not? And that's a little Shimano and a little Mitchell. I think between these 2 rods, I might have $50 total. You know, I kind of like doing things like that. So, you know, I hear them chopping. I don't know if you can hear them chopping the hay up there. It's too wet to do anything else. You got the croakers coming. You see one beaver over there. There's 4 of them in there somewhere. Huh. Wonder if they took my offering of sticks. Well, there's some fish jumping over there too. Usually this time of the evening, if you wait, you'll start seeing them hopping around the top, and usually that's a bigger fish kind of cruising underneath them. But that over there is not a fish, that's a beaver. Well, anyway.